Alright, so in order to make a video, to combine two videos, you'll need DaVinci Resolve, and in order to strip a DVD, you will need Handbrake. So first, put the video in the disk in your computer, open Handbrake, doesn't matter which order. In order to strip the DVD, you hit source, DVD video recording, hit OK. It's just telling you that it's auto naming. Go to browse, like I just did. Click browse. Find the folder that you want to put the video in. For instance, mine. I always put on the desktop under church video disk copy. I name it with the date. I already did it. You name it whatever. Like say sermon or whatever you want to name it. Temp. Okay. Hit save. Then once you have named the video, hit start. You'll see the progress down here. You also should see it as a bar going across the logo. If that doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. It will close itself when it's done. Hit stop. Don't hit stop unless you're. I'm gonna hit stop because I've already stripped the disk and it will take too long to do this. Not too long for you to do. It's just too long to record to put in this. Anyway. So now you should have a disk copy. That's because I didn't finish the disk. I didn't finish stripping it a second time. This is already what's been stripped. So then you have to get the your second video copy off of your flash drive or SD card or whatever you had it on, and I always put it in a folder over here because it's like easier if they're both together. Ignore the second thing, that's another video. So now you will launch DaVinci Resolve. I'm just gonna get that over there. In order to create a new project on DaVinci Resolve, you hit New Project, which is what you will be doing. I'll just go on and create this, since it's empty anyway. I always name it with the date of the sermon, sometimes the word sermon. You can name it whatever. Again, it's just something to keep yourself organized. So now that it's open, you have to get your sources. I will shrink this down so I have room. So I always start with the biggest source, which usually it will be this source, but for this time I do believe that it's this one because of reasons. So you just drag the video here. You'll see a video in blue and the audio in green.
My favorite holiday. Now I know it's not super kosher.
You should be able to hear the sounds of the person talking or whatever is in your video. And then once you get it to where you want it to be, you can fast forward it here if you're like closer. If you're really far away, fast forward with this, because you can go from the start to the end really fast. Once you get it around where you want it to be, you can crop it by hitting this button right here, which is don't know the exact name, but it cuts it. See, look, you'll see a line if you place it up next to like the red line, it will line up with your red viewing line. So once you get it there, you can crop it. Like I did that. It might have been hard to see. Once you get it cropped, whatever you don't need, just select it with the little mouse button. After you hit the mouse button, select it, delete. You can hit this to go back to the front, this to go to the end. It just goes to whatever next brake you have. Say, if I put a brake right here, I could also put a brake right here. If I went like this, it would go to the next brake, and then the last brake, because that only have 3. If you made a mistake or whatever, click Control Z. It's an undo button. If I hit it again, it'll bring back the front piece. So I can do that again. Go on and delete that back. And so once you get that video to where you want it to be, go on and drag the second video. I'm gonna go back a little bit on mine because I made the video, the second video. Oh wait, that was the same video. Ignore that. But you drag the second video, which I had around the same time. You find where your second video meets what happened in your first video. Ignore all the sounds because those are not going to line up because they are the same, unless you had it completely right the first time. Delete what you don't need. This will happen a lot at the end, but you don't need to worry about that right now. Okay, once you have the sources, you can go on and close the folders that they're in. It might help to make this full screen and as big as you can. The video you can make bigger or whatever, because you will need to see his mouth or whatever. If you're doing something else, then it's so you can start by
as we hear our hearts and our minds to worship the Lord through giving. I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out, front and back.
So, since this is the video that I do not want, as you can see, this is the second. The video that you do not want, you can, if you want to, you can move it to the side, or to check, you can also go up with the other one. But since this is the one I do not want, I select it, hit delete, and you should be able to see the video that you want. And when you hit play, you can
as we
watch
hear
the
our
video.
hearts and our
Although both audios are currently there, you will have to select the audio. Well, not yet actually. But since this video, and this audio already are aligned, this is the audio I don't want though. I will eventually delete that once I get these to line up. I'm gonna bring back the video so that I can see where they both will line up. Because this video starts with him right here. You will have to find small things that are like small actions that the person in the
As we
video
prepare our hearts and our minds to worship the Lord through giving, I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out front.
Alright, I'm going to like using Control Z will help a lot with this. Because you can,
As we prepare our hearts and our minds to
once he starts talking, you can crop where he starts talking. Once you are for sure where he starts saying the
prepare our hearts and our minds to worship the Lord through giving. I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out front and back, put your information on the front, but put your presence here, fill in your information. As we prepare our hearts and our minds to worship the Lord through giving, I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out front and back, put your information on the front, but put your prayer concerns on the back. That's the real. Put private or office only on there.
yeah, you will be able to hear the sounds from the second audio, but it might be it might be quieter, and it typically is, especially if you're using the same audio, everything that I'm using. Now, if you reached, like, if you found where he started talking and you didn't want to like just cut it, you could click this and bookmark it, and then say if I move the bookmark here, when I hit fast forward, okay, not on there, but like yeah, you can bookmark if you select, like, say the video and bookmark the video up, like mark it. I think it only works on the audio. Never mind. If you select the audio, bookmark it, then when you hit fast forward, alright, never mind. You can, when you drag the little red cursor thingy over near it will automatically lock onto the spot that you wanted it to. I don't actually want it. I'm gonna delete it.
Prepare our hearts and our minds to worship the Lord through giving. I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out front and back.
I'll bring this video back.
As we
Yeah, you can use whatever point of the video that you want to use for your own video. Doesn't matter. Say you can use what if you were to use it for church, you could use what he does, or what he says, what like people in the background do. As like you just line up the videos, which sometimes takes a while. Sometimes
prepare our hearts and our minds to worship the Lord through giving. I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out, front and back, put your I forgot to remind you about this. Next Sunday, the 30th, will be our fifth Sunday. And every Christmas is right around the corner.
So, say if the video barely is off, this video is slightly ahead of this video for the audio part, and yeah, if you name these, you might want to name them differently. These are the files, the file names for the actual video files that are downloaded. If you name them, you might want to name them like even more differently than I did, but it doesn't really change much as long as you don't confuse yourself. So you can typically just trim off a little bit. Sometimes it'll work. Sorry, wrong video. And yes, if you trim a video for one part, when you go to trim another, it will line up. It will like automatically snap into place. And also, if you wanted to make it might be easier for you to use this tool, which allows you to select one end and just drag it. And that's how you would crop the video. I prefer the other way. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as it works, I guess.
To worship the Lord through giving. I want to remind you to put this connection. Really important one, and whatever you put on.
Oops, sorry.
To worship the Lord through giving. I want to remind you. Put your info.
Alright, so since this video is still slightly ahead, I will trim it again. And see how this one works. Yes, and typically if you trim part of the video and you delete it, it will delete it from the other.
Through giving, I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out, front. Put this connection card, fill it out. Through giving, I want to remind you to put this.
Alright. And yeah, if you wanted to try it like this, you could.
Through giving, I want to remind you to put this connection card, fill it out, front and back, put your through giving. I want to remind you to put this connection card.
See, around here he says forgiving, so I'll crop that on every one of them. Delete this. Delete this. Line this up. Hold on, actually I don't want to crop it on every single one of them, but I do want to crop it Alright, yeah, it sometimes it's a little tricky to do this part because of the fact that it just doesn't tend to want to line up. But yes. Now I can delete this bit. Try it again. Make sure that he starts with
through giving. I want to remind you to put this connection card.
And once the sound, the audio lines up with the main video that you want, then you can go on and you can go on and press it. Go to the end before you stop it, and go on and where it is not lined up, crop the extra bit out, just in case. Just because that way it won't. Once they end the video, they can end the video. Fine, and or either do that or go on and skip that and find the end of where you want the video to stop and crop to the end on both the video and the audio, unless for some reason you want it to continue with the one or the other. I don't know why someone would want that, but they might. I don't know. But once you have it done, either press Control S to save it, or File and hit Save Project. If you want to, like say if you made a risky mistake, risky change that you might want to go back and not like have to redo it from the last time you saved it, which by the way you might want to save it throughout the project. But you can hit save project as, rename it, create a new one. It's just like a Word document or any other thing. Once you finish the video, hit this little rocket ship down in your bottom. It says like deliver. Once you hit the rocket ship, I always go with custom. It tends to just be the one that I know works. Browse, see usage, users, use the username that your computer's put down as. If you were putting your folder on the desktop, go to the desktop, documents, downloads, whatever, find the folder. That I always do it on the desktop and it's easier to find it. And then you find the name of the folder. So it doesn't matter if you use a folder that you already have. So I'm going to use church video, the one that I had the USB copy on, the flash drive copy. Hit OK. Add to render queue. You'll see it over here. Start render. This will take about 30 minutes to an hour. Maybe a little less, but it will take a while for it to finish the render. Once you are done, like it will show you at the bottom in the icon as a progress bar. Once it is done, which this will take a while, I will drag it over to the side. Second screen, doesn't matter. You can You can close this if it won't harm anything. If you close Handbrake though, for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure it won't. It'll stop your video if you try to minimize it, not just close it, but minimize it. You go to like the folder. This one is being made, but this one I have already done. You can take this, and this is like the final copy. It should be just like a normal MP4 file. No, it's MOV. It will be automatically made an MOV file. But you can like if you want it to be any other type of video file, go to view. If you cannot already see like the .mov, .mp4, .mov, that kind of thing, you go to view and then show/hide. File name extensions, you have to check that. And once that's checked, see, when it's not checked, you'll see it like this. Once you check it, you'll see this. And for the sake of this, I'm going to just copy this, because I'm just going to send it as an MOV file. But actually, no, I'm not going to name that one. But once it's made, you can... Oh, and while it's being rendered, or while you're creating the video, do not delete your original source folders until you've created the render completely. Because the way that DaVinci Resolve works is that these files down here, the audio and the visual, whatever you want to call it, the audio and visual files will not, they're pulling it from the folders, the original folders. I'm going to pull a folder out of the recycling bin to use as an example. Yeah, M4V, any type of movie folder. FLV is also one, but yeah. So I'm going to move this to here. So once it's like, say if you wanted it to be an MP4, this one is already an MP4, but say I wanted this to be an MOV file. Hit rename. It'll automatically highlight the main title. Move with the arrow keys, or select with the cursor over here. Delete the file extension. Type the one that you want. Hit enter. It'll come up with this. If you say if you did type it wrong, then it'll just not load up. It will. I already have one named .mov, so I'm just gonna click no. I'm not gonna rename it. But here, actually, I will rename it. I'm gonna rename it temp.mov. And it's still the same as it was. It's still a playable file. It's just the app takes a while sometimes. But MOV, MP4, that kind of thing, to convert it back and forth, you can easily do that. But say if you mistype the file, like say I added an E. Okay, now it's not an actual file. If you try to click it, it will come up with a little warning thing saying that your computer doesn't have a way of reading that type of file. But you don't have to worry about that. Just rename it. Go back. See, it will tell you. It'll ask you to find an app to open it. You can just, yeah, kind of click off of that. Sorry, this DaVinci Resolve will lag a computer because it uses a lot of memory, like RAM. But yes, you can change it. You can change the file extension right back to whatever you had it to before. And if you wanted it back to the original file extension, you can change it back and it'll still launch up. You won't have ruined anything unless, say, you did this. Well, yeah, I might have messed something up. Say if you did this, you might mess up it. It'll kind of ruin it. If you made it a text file, but this as a video, it won't work. Like the only way to mess it up, like permanently, is to delete some stuff with the binary. It's too big to do that. Don't worry about it. That's just about everything you need to know. If you have any problems with it, just like email or text me or something. Yeah, that should be about it. If you're sharing this video with someone, you could do it however you want. You can upload it to OneDrive. You can upload it to Google Drive. You can upload it to whatever you put it on USB. Doesn't matter. It'll be an MOV file just like this, which should play perfectly fine. Although this might take a while because I'm not gonna wait for it. But yes, it will be an MOV file. You can change the file extension, do whatever you want. It'll automatically name it untitled. You can rename it anything that you want to keep yourself organized. But that is just about it. I'll have sent you this, which should have the downloads. For DaVinci Resolve, you'd have to unzip this folder, or just open it up and click this, run that program. I don't know if it'll have looked different, if it'll update by then, I don't know. But, and then Handbrake right here. Yeah, that's about it. Good luck.